Toyota's CEO has dropped a bombshell with a new hybrid engine, declaring that EVs are finished. Toyota just dropped a bombshell that could flip the entire auto industry upside down. For years, EVs were crowned the future. Governments pushed them, investors bet billions, and Tesla led the charge. But now, Toyota's CEO has revealed something no one saw coming. A brand new hybrid engine. Not just an upgrade, but a total game changer. This engine smashes efficiency records and cuts emissions to levels EV makers can't touch, all without the insane costs, endless charging waits, or fragile battery supply chain. Electric vehicles promised freedom, but instead, drivers got range anxiety, sky-high prices, and charging stations that don't exist. Toyota's answer is a technology that blends the best of both worlds: gas convenience and electric efficiency. The result is a car that's cheaper, cleaner, and ready right now. No waiting for infrastructure, no rare earth bottlenecks, just performance and reliability at scale. If you're just as shocked as the industry right now, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Let's find out why EV makers should be very, very worried. The cracks in their dream are already showing. Growth has slowed. Sales that once soared have started to flatten. The promise of affordability never arrived, with prices still out of reach for the average buyer. Charging stations remain a patchy gamble, clustered in a few cities while vast regions are left stranded. Drivers wanted freedom but instead got dependency on plugs that often don't exist. That's not progress, that's frustration. And this is exactly where Toyota strikes hardest. While EV owners plan their lives around outlets and superchargers, Toyota's new hybrid tears through the problem with brutal simplicity. Over 800 miles of range on a single tank, a 3-minute refuel that gets you back on the road faster than a coffee break. No waiting, no planning, no infrastructure headaches, just drive. Then comes the killer blow: price. At a projected $27,000 to $32,000, Toyota undercuts Tesla's so-called affordable models and even puts pressure on BYD, the king of budget EVs. For a car that doesn't compromise on convenience, that's a weapon, not just a product. And it doesn't stop there. Toyota claims the battery in this hybrid lasts twice as long as today's EV packs. Double the life, less degradation, lower replacement cost. That means families can own these cars for a decade or more without facing the nightmare of expensive battery swaps. Longevity has always been Toyota's secret edge, and now it's being unleashed in a way EV makers can't match. Put all of this together, and the picture becomes impossible to ignore. EVs are stuck in promises, promising faster charging someday, cheaper prices someday, better durability someday. But Toyota is delivering now. Not theory, not prototypes in the lab, but real cars, production-ready, rolling out soon. And that's why the EV industry is rattled. Because if Toyota's bet pays off, the revolution doesn't belong to batteries alone. It belongs to hybrids. And Toyota just proved they might not be the past. They might be the future. But here's the twist the world didn't see coming. This wasn't just another hybrid. Toyota had been quietly hiding something under the hood. A technological ambush that no competitor was prepared for. An opposed piston engine. Two pistons facing each other, firing in perfect balance. No wasted energy, no clunky compromises. Record-breaking thermal efficiency, over 50%, something diesel engineers only dreamed about. And it didn't run on dirty fuel. This machine devoured hydrogen. It burned synthetic e-fuels with 80% fewer emissions than anything on the road today. Clean power without the grid. Forget the massive lithium packs weighing down EVs. Toyota swapped them for solid-state microbatteries, palm-sized modules. Lightweight, safer, faster, with twice the lifespan. They weren't powering the wheels, just boosting the engine's efficiency like a secret ally. And then came the brain. Artificial intelligence-driven combustion control. The engine literally thought for itself, adjusting fuel-air mixes on the fly, optimizing every stroke, every explosion in real time. No driver input needed. It was mechanical instinct rewritten by code. 8 years. That's how long Toyota kept this buried, working in silence, partnering with Japan's top universities, testing prototypes in unmarked vehicles, studying fuels no one else dared to touch. A billion-dollar secret hiding in plain sight. The reveal left engineers stunned. This wasn't a compromise. It wasn't a stopgap. It was a new blueprint. And the shockwaves didn't stop under the hood. For drivers, it felt like a jailbreak. No charges in the garage, no overnight waits, no hunting for plugs on a road trip. Just pull up, refuel in 3 minutes, and go. Rural towns ignored by the EV revolution suddenly had a green option. Farmers, truckers, cross-country drivers, all back in the game. And the numbers didn't lie. Maintenance costs down 40%, no EV-style battery replacements draining wallets, no degrading packs worth half the car. Just simple service. Oil-free, battery-light, durable. Fleet owners took notice first. Delivery vans, semi-trucks, buses. Refuel, drive, refuel again. No downtime, no waiting hours for mega charges. Towing power intact, long hauls unbroken. It was the working man's green machine, and Toyota sealed it with one more blow. A warranty no one believed. 10 years, 150,000 miles guaranteed. The kind of confidence that screams, this engine doesn't break. Consumers didn't just notice, they erupted. Forums lit up. Finally, something practical. Where do I sign? Families saw freedom. Truck owners saw strength. EV fence-sitters saw clarity. This wasn't another option. It was the option. Then came the quake. Analysts froze. Billions poured into EV startups looked shaky overnight. If hybrids weren't dead, if this was real, the math broke. Tesla's stock slipped. Investors smelled blood. Questions hit fast. Could Tesla match it? Or had the king just been dethroned? BYD scrambled. Rivian issued reassurances. Their press teams spun hard, but Wall Street wasn't buying it. Suddenly, their all-in EV bets looked reckless. And then the real victims emerged. General Motors, Ford, legacy giants who had burned bridges. They shut down hybrid programs years ago, chased Tesla's shadow. Now they were locked into strategies that looked obsolete. Factories retooled for EVs, only billion-dollar commitments chained to a future that might never arrive. But the deepest cut hit the charging industry. ChargePoint, Blink, EVgo. The companies building the gas stations of the future. Toyota's announcement made their entire business model wobble. Why wait 30 minutes when 3 minutes was back on the table? Why build 500,000 chargers if the market doesn't need them? It was collapse hiding in plain sight. And then came the headline that summed it all up. Category killer. That's what Wall Street called Toyota's hybrid. A single phrase that told the truth. This wasn't just a car. It was a wrecking ball. The future of mobility just cracked wide open. And the giants who mocked Toyota weren't laughing anymore. The shockwaves didn't stop at corporate boardrooms. Across continents, governments, and citizens felt the tremors. Europe reeled. Billions poured into EV subsidies now looked like a political trap. Politicians faced angry voters demanding answers. Protests erupted in Germany and France as car makers demanded policy rewrites. Brussels scrambled, debating whether to pivot subsidies toward hybrids. Green parties fractured. The credibility of Europe's clean tech roadmap hung by a thread. Meanwhile, Japan acted with military speed. Hydrogen stations doubled in planning overnight. Construction crews mobilized, laying pipelines along cities and highways. Officials branded it a national mission, linking energy security with Toyota's leap. Partnerships formed with local prefectures, utilities, and universities. Toyota wasn't just an automaker anymore. It was a lifeline for Japan's global edge. The US split down the middle. Regulators argued in Washington. One side clings to EV-only targets, the other bows to auto lobby pressure, demanding hybrids and green policy. Lobbyists flood Capitol Hill, waving Toyota's data. Senators ask why American companies are stuck while Japan leapfrogs. The Biden administration faces a dilemma. Rewrite rules or risk industry collapse. China panics. EV supremacy was their crown jewel. Now Toyota threatens the empire. Emergency meetings take place in Beijing. State-owned automakers are ordered to fast-track hybrid hydrogen projects. BYD is pressed to pivot harder, faster. Analysts whisper, if Toyota scales first, China's decade-long EV lead may evaporate. Activists split into factions. Some cheer. Toyota's tech slashes emissions faster than waiting for universal EV adoption. Others cry betrayal. Hybrids delay the pure EV future. Climate movements fracture across social media. The once united environmental front splinters under pressure. Toyota avoids the chokehold. Lithium irrelevant, cobalt not required, nickel optional. While EV makers beg for rare minerals, Toyota sidesteps the crisis. Supply chains once ruled by Chinese monopolies suddenly look fragile. Toyota doesn't need them anymore. Hydrogen sourcing turns local. Japan produces from renewables, cutting imports. Europe eyes green hydrogen from North Africa. The US pushes Midwest projects powered by wind. Synthetic fuels ramp in scale. Aviation, shipping, and now cars share the same pipeline. Global fuel supply chains reorganize in real time. Factories become weapons. Toyota doesn't need $10 billion gigafactories or endless permit fights. Production lines adapt overnight. The timeline shrinks from years to months. Rivals can't keep up. Scale becomes Toyota's nuclear option. It already sells 10 million cars a year. Retooling half of that dwarfs Tesla's entire output. BYD's factories look provincial. Legacy rivals like GM and Ford choke on battery costs while Toyota floods the streets with hybrids. Analysts declare Toyota can scale faster than anyone. The war of technology ignites. Tesla doubles down. Elon Musk bets everything on solid-state batteries. Delays mount, supply chains wobble, investors grow restless. Tesla's moonshot feels riskier every day. BYD scrambles. It explores hydrogen tie-ups with energy firms. Negotiations with Middle Eastern partners begin. The company that once dominated EV pricing now plays catch-up in hybrid tech. Its future depends on adapting, fast. Oil giants breathe again. For decades, they feared extinction. Now, hybrids extend their relevance. Hydrogen and synthetic fuels keep refineries humming. Lobbyists shift strategy. Instead of fighting green tech, they push for hybrids as the bridge. Wall Street rewards them. Renewables pivot. Solar and wind farms redirect output toward hydrogen production. Electrolyzers boom in demand. Nations realize excess green power can be stored as hydrogen, not wasted. Toyota's cars become a backbone of this circular system. The industry fractures. Two camps emerge. EV absolutists cling to battery purity, insisting Toyota delays progress. Hybrid pragmatists argue Toyota's path cuts emissions faster, cheaper, and with global reach. The fight isn't just technical, it's ideological. Every boardroom, every parliament, every investor call now echoes with the same question: EVs or hybrids? And while debates rage and strategies shift, Toyota isn't waiting. Prototypes are already rolling, not in secret labs, but on real highways across Japan, logging millions of miles in every terrain, every weather, every condition. Data piling up, and the results are stunning. Life cycle emissions slashed. Independent studies confirm it. Not 10%, not 30%, but 70% lower than EVs in coal-heavy grids. That's the killer blow. EVs look clean only on paper, plug into a coal grid, and the numbers collapse. Toyota just exposed the gap. Winter trials in Hokkaido, bitter cold, snow-packed roads. EVs falter, range plunges. Toyota hybrids, no drop, no panic, full performance intact. Drivers keep moving when EVs freeze. Then came the stress tests, towing capacity. Diesels once ruled this space, not anymore. Hybrids outpull them. Trucks hauling weight uphill with ease. Fleet managers notice, this is not about eco badges, it's about raw muscle. Businesses care about uptime, not ideology. Consumers were next. Trial programs launched quietly. Families, truck drivers, everyday commuters. Feedback rolled in. No range anxiety, no charging queues, just refuel and go. Minutes, not hours. Drivers smiled. This wasn't compromise, it was freedom. Toyota circled 2026 on the calendar, the year of rollout. No timid pilot launch, 500,000 units straight out the gate, year one. That's not testing the waters, that's an invasion, and it's not limited. Asia, Europe, North America, simultaneous strikes. The scale terrifies rivals. While others argue over battery plants, Toyota moves product. Partnerships cement the plan. Shell, BP, Japanese hydrogen suppliers. Pipelines already being mapped. Fuel stations already plotted. Hydrogen won't just exist, it will surround drivers. Accessible, convenient, normalized. The vision expands. Cars are only step one. Toyota hints at aircraft, hybrid engines taking to the skies, cargo planes without fossil guilt. Then shipping. Tankers powered by hydrogen systems, ports redesigned, global logistics reborn. Heavy industry next. Steel plants, construction machinery, mining trucks, all candidates. The hybrid hydrogen core scales everywhere. This isn't just mobility, it's Industrial Revolution 2.0. The sales goal proves it, 5 million units by 2030, a number that dwarfs EV projections. EV-only believers choke on the math. Their dominance evaporates. The curve bends back toward hybrids. The narrative unravels. For years, EVs owned the future. Headlines declared it inevitable. Governments parroted the script. Investors poured billions. But Toyota just rewrote the ending. Hybrids stormed the stage. EV takeover delayed a decade. The prophecy is broken. Toyota rises again, not as a laggard, but as the leader, as the innovator. The crown reclaimed. The company mocked for dragging its feet now stands ahead. The clash sharpens. Tesla versus Toyota. Not just companies, worldviews. Radical futurism on one side, pragmatic realism on the other. A duel of philosophies. Which one survives? Which one shapes history? Governments now trapped. Policy bets misfired. Do they rewrite mandates? Do they pivot subsidies? Do they admit they backed the wrong horse? Or do they hedge with hybrids? Portfolios fracture, billions at stake. The stock market becomes a battlefield. Consumers feel it too. One camp sees the hybrid as salvation, affordable, practical, reliable. The other clings to the EV as destiny, clean, simple, radical. The divide hardens, and then comes the question, the only question that matters, not how, not when, but which. Which path shapes the future? EV absolutism or hybrid pragmatism? It's no longer a technical debate. It's ideological war. The battle lines are clear. Toyota isn't just selling a new engine, they're rewriting the story of the auto industry itself. What looked like a one-way road toward full electrification now feels more like an open battlefield, with hydrogen hybrids firing the first real shot. The data is undeniable, the performance is proven, and the stakes bigger than ever. This isn't just about cars, it's about control of the future. And here's where you come in. The conversation doesn't end here. If you believe this shift changes everything, hit that like button. If you think the world needs to hear the truth about Toyota's gamble, share this video. And if you don't want to miss the next twist in this war for mobility, subscribe, because the story is only getting started. The next 5 years will decide more than just market share. They'll decide which technology fuels our lives, powers our economies, and shapes our planet's destiny. The question isn't whether Toyota made the right move. The question is, will the world follow?